Good morning, bedheads. Click. How amazing is that mug? I'll tell you about it in a second. So, welcome. This is Coffee with Karen. Although we've got a little bit of restructuring how we're going to be doing content, chatting with the community this summer. This today is going to be we're going to start the decoding of May messages this morning, okay? And really, really helpful. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the structure and kind of how I'm going to do it with some oracle cards if you haven't joined this process before. And we're in for a delightful session because the SGs are allowing us to use this deck again. I know some people, I know there are a few of you who are like not so thrilled about this deck. But for the most part, most of us are pretty excited about it. So if you're not thrilled about it, just, take a deep breath. Skip that part if you want to. No problem. I get it. It doesn't resonate with everybody. So, yeah, so we're going to basically I'll tell you about the whole schedule in a second, okay? Before I get started, don't forget to sign up for the newsletter if you haven't. There's the QR code for that. And my project for today, now that the journals are done for the 30-day challenge, I'll be telling you about that in the newsletter and when the challenge starts and all that kind of stuff. But my task for today is to get our community business directory organized. We've got everybody's on there, like whoever's wanting to participate at least early on from the community. So there are so many people in our community who are artists, like this one, or have services, spiritual services, birth charting, just so many things. And so my job today, after I'm done recording this, I'm going to work with Marsha and we're going to get that all organized. And you guys are going to see it for the first time this month. So I'm really excited. I hope you'll support I know a lot of people are looking for ways to support smaller businesses. And so now you'll know who has smaller businesses in our community and you'll support them. Too bad we didn't have it early enough for Mother's Day, but Father's Day is coming up. So if you're looking for something for Father's Day, this would be an amazing. So one of our artists on the list makes these mugs. She has an Etsy shop, and so you'll be seeing that when you look at the list, okay? You can visit her shop. She sent me one, but I bought 3 more because they're amazing. I love them. I have all 3. I have like 4 different colors. So, okay. So, the idea is every month, so I started doing this in April. Every month I've been asking the spirit guides collectively. So I ask them, my spirit guides, to bring in all of the spirit guides from the community. Okay, especially people who will be watching this video. They kind of know. They know who's going to be tripping by and, kind of listening to this. So tripping by, stopping by, I should say. That's a weird word. But anyway, so I ask them for collective messages for the month of May. Okay, so I started that in April. We've been doing that for 2 months, okay? So I kind of worked out a little schedule with them last night. I was kind of chatting through like what our summer schedule is going to look like for the community. And so I'm going to be posting a video every day at noon, 7 days a week. So I've been doing 5 days a week, 2 videos. So we're going to do 7 days a week, 1 video at noon. Okay. So like Coffee with Karen today is really the decoding of these messages. And I'm just giving people who have been around just a little bit of an overview because, you guys are used to something and I'm used to something. So we're going to see, how this works. Okay. So what I'm going to do, and I actually asked the SGs last night, my SGs, if they thought this would be an effective way to do this, is every Sunday. So basically every Sunday going forward, we're going to get 2 messages for the week. Okay. So basically, we have, they told me there's 8 messages for the month of May. And so then we're going to get, so now every Sunday we'll decode 2 messages, but it'll be for like the upcoming week, which will be kind of amazing. Then we'll be able to look at like the whole month at a glance, which I think this week I want to do that. I want to look back at April with you guys, things I've written down. Okay. So like, cause here's April's energy or April's messages. I'd be kind of curious to go back. I think it's worth looking back, and just saying, what did we learn? What did we get out of these messages as we move forward? So, okay, so that's what we're going to do. So every Sunday, we're going to have 2 messages to decode for the week. Okay. One of the things that I do in the Spirit Circle, if you're not a member and you're interested and you want to take a look at it, is that I do a week, what I call a weekly blessing, and I do those on Sundays. The difference is that we pull an oracle card. So it's a message for the week based on the oracle. It's an oracle message from our spirit guides, basically. And then I do a clearing, an energy clearing. So a little bit of Reiki with the dowsing rods, and based on that message that we get. So it's a little bit of if you were going to spend, have you ever spent, we have Reiki masters here. And so to get a little bit of a nice little some energy work once a week is kind of amazing, because you don't have to go anywhere. You can just sit on your couch. You know what I mean? So yesterday, or what day is it today? Yeah, yesterday was the weekly blessing. And I did, then the SGs always give us a hug. We give a 2-minute hug for the week, just to kind of get us the positive, loving energy for going into the week. And the hug actually ended up being, they gave us a hug, and then it ended up being another clearing. So that was interesting. So I just kind of let them do what they need to do, because they know what we need. So really, really cool. So that's a little bit of a difference between what is in the Spirit Circle versus what we're going to be doing here on Sundays. Okay. Now I know it's Monday. I'm a day behind just because we're working out the new schedule. So I will see you. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to do the messages for the week on Sunday. And so I'm going to do coffee with Karen every day, but then what we talk about will be slightly different. Every other day, it'll be like just traditional coffee with Karen. You'll still get a pendulum message. You'll get an oracle message. We'll chat a little bit about what's going on and how to look at it from a spiritual perspective. And then every other day will be SGs. So I'm going to bring in, things that we've been talking about, the using the dowsing rods, answering your questions. Okay. So that will be every day at noon, 7 days a week. So I hope you join us even through the summer. Are you going to still join me in the summer? I don't want to lose connections with you guys just because it's summertime. Okay, but you got to get outside too and enjoy yourselves. All right, so one of the things I want to encourage everybody to do going forward, because I'm looking at doing this myself, and I want to start taking all of these messages that we're getting from the guides and actually doing something with them besides just listening. And because I think that's where the spiritual growth is, at least for me. So, and again, if you're new here, this is just a woman named Karen, and I'm a nice Karen. In fact, somebody sent me a mug and said, I'm the best Karen ever. I'll have to use that mug soon. Anyways, I wouldn't say I'm the best Karen ever, but I'm a nice Karen. And I'm on a spiritual journey, especially because of what's going on and how we are, we are on a spiritual journey, not only individually, but collectively. Like, we're always on a spiritual journey, but the time right now between in the next 15 years is going to be, we are going to be making major shifts in a very good way. But until we get there, it can feel very chaotic. And so I'm on this journey with you, is how I see it. And I'm just facilitating conversation, basically. Okay. And so planting ideas, I'm telling you what I'm doing. You're telling me what you're doing in the comments, which is amazing because you're sharing it with each other. Because things I do may not resonate with you, but what resonates is what other people might be sharing with you in the comments. So make sure you look at those. That's really the most important thing. I'm just saying, hey, this is what I'm doing. And then 1,000 other people are saying, hey, this is what I'm doing. And you can find out from all, you'll figure out what's good for you then. Okay. All right. So we're just on the spiritual journey together and trying to figure out all these shifts that are going on and the best way to handle them, basically. So what I'm doing, and I actually just created so this is a 30-day journal that I've been creating, but I just created a long version because I was inspired yesterday by the message that we got. This was the pendulum message that we got. You can ignore the writing underneath. That's an oracle message that I wanted to process a little bit. So why aren't you trusting God was the pendulum message that we got during Coffee with Karen yesterday. Okay. And it was using, again, the pendulum, if you're new, is basically the SGs spell out specific words. So they spelled out yesterday, why aren't you trusting God? So I thought, okay, well, if that's the message, then they've been giving us those messages. They've gave us a couple of those messages in April. Excuse me. But I thought, you know what? What I haven't done is I've never asked myself. So this morning when I woke up, SG message, I wrote, why aren't you trusting God? Now, this is a sample, it's day 5 of the challenge, but I'm just using this because I ordered it and it's just a sample. So why aren't you trusting God? And so I wrote a page and a half. And I said, well, that's a good question. Why? Okay, so they're wondering why, each of us there's a little part of us, apparently, that's why they're giving us this message. I thought, well, am I not trusting God? What does that mean? Okay, so tomorrow during Coffee with Karen, I'm going to share with you what I talked about with that. But what I wanted to encourage you to do is if you get messages today from the pendulum, okay, then it's a collective message from all of our spirit guides, okay? So you can trust that, because that's what I've asked them to do, that this is a message from your spirit guides as well, okay? So if you don't have a pendulum, and this is really for people who don't have their own pendulum working right now, or they don't have the dowsing rods working for them right now, but you always can get oracle cards and get your messages that way. Everybody can do that, okay? So, but for those who don't have the tools or aren't in a place right now to do that, absolutely take the messages you're getting here, but then write them down and then do some journaling about 1 page even. It doesn't even have to be a lot. Just anything that resonates with you, the why aren't you trusting God message, did it resonate with me? I don't know, not really, but I thought, well, okay. They're asking me to answer that question. And so I decided, again, I'm always like, who am I to argue with them, right? And so that's why I decided to journal on it. And so I just created a long journal with the same design, which will look totally different than this, by the way. But just because every day it kind of develops. If you're a creative person, you know what I mean. You start with the baseline and then you always do something, every day it gets a little tweaky. You tweak some things, So I did a long version and it's going to be basically you can put the message at the top and you can do this in your own journal. It's the same thing. I'll actually show you what I'm doing when I get the long version so that you can just use your own journal too. So I wanted to get one printed for me from the printer. Okay, so thank you for allowing me that long intro because we're doing a little shifting right now. Next Sunday when we do this, I'll jump right into it, okay? All right, so we have 2 messages for the week. And I was looking for my pen. There we go. We have one. Okay, so basically what I do if you're new here is I sit down and I do there's a prayer. I ask our collective spirit guides from the community, particularly those who will be watching this video, for messages for the month of May. Okay, so I have two right now. Then I ask them, well, I shuffle my deck of oracle decks. These are all of my oracle decks on this deck. And I ask them which cards they want me to use to decode the message a little bit more. Basically, give us a little bit more information. So we have the first message. We're going to be using feminine wisdom. Yay! And it's funny that this is the one that dropped. So, and then the second message, we're going to be using the letting go deck. And we haven't used this one. Oh my gosh. This was like one of my original ones when I started the channel. We haven't used this one for a while, so probably a couple months. So I'm excited to pull that one out. So those are the two they wanted us to use for today. Those four. Okay. All right. So the first message is wide open. Okay. So the first message is wide open. And then I said, in relation to, like, well, what are you talking about? Wide open to, and they said, gone mad. Gone mad. Okay, so this is an indication to me, and I'm going to pull the rods out for a second. This is an indication to me that it's probably a political message. Okay, well, both a political message and a personal message. So let's just see. So I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides, guardians, and all of those of the highest and purest light. And I ask Archangel Michael to please protect this community and this channel so it is only of the highest and purest light. Amen. I want to start saying our channels. So let me say, I ask Archangel Michael to protect this community and our channels, meaning our channels, all of our channels, so it is only of the highest and purest light. So what I'm asking for is basically with you sitting here, that anything you're channeling right now, because you are channeling whether you know it or not, right? You're getting intuitive. You're feeling like, whatever I'm talking about, if it feels good, if it doesn't feel good, you're getting messages constantly, right? And you could say, well, that's your brain or whatever, or you could say that that's, it is obviously your brain, but they're sending messages through your brain. Your higher self is saying, letting you know, yes, that feels right. No, that doesn't feel right, because that's what's right or wrong for you. Okay. So that's why I want to protect our channels, so that they are only of the highest and purest light. Okay. So you guys, the message wide open. Again, asking the collective here of anyone who is watching now and in the future this video. So all of our spirit teams together, please, a response from everybody. So the message, you guys, for the first message for May is wide open. So yes, okay. And then I asked you in relation to, and you said gone mad. Yes, okay. So those were the pendulum messages. So we'll get into the cards a little bit to get some clarification, but is this a political message? Yes. Is the gone mad the political part? Yes. Is the wide open a political message? No. The wide open is a message for us individually and collectively. Are you asking us to remain wide open? Okay. Does that mean like wide open in love? Yes and yes. Do we close ourselves off when we feel fear? Yes. Okay. So are you asking us to work, at least try to stay in love as much as possible during this time? Yes. Okay. All right. Are you suggesting that the F-45 administration has gone mad? Yes. Okay. 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 So are you suggesting that the month of May we might see more madness? Yes. Okay. So we can anticipate, is it going to be more chaotic than what we have felt in previous months? Ah, yes. Okay. Okay. And so you're asking us to stay wide open in love, basically. So don't feed into the fear. Is that what you're asking us to do? Yes. I almost don't even need to use the oracles, do I? It's just fun to use the oracles, so. Okay, so if that's enough for you, then that might be enough. That's pretty clear to me. So what I'm doing now, so I showed you last month, right? I showed you April. So I had these little tiny squares. Well, I thought to myself, because okay, so I had these, there's the message for April, and then I had to write in all these tiny squares. So now for May, I thought, you know what, if there's going to be 2 messages a week, and if there's more, that's okay. I'll just divide a box. But I thought, okay, well, this gives me a lot more writing space. Okay. One of the reasons I know I've been talking about coming out with, I've been designing a bullet journal for spiritual, for like one that I would use basically. One of the reasons I'm not fast in coming out with it is because I'm working with it to see what actually does work for me. Okay. Which if it works for me, then I'm comfortable selling it. You know what I mean? Or designing it that way. So the same thing with the journals. Like I've been using them to see what actually makes the most sense, So that's why it just takes a little while. Okay. Same with the pendulum, this pendulum pack that I'm developing. It's the same thing, In fact, by using it this week, I just decided to shift some stuff. So, okay. Wide open, gone mad. Let's do feminine wisdom first. All right. Any of the decks that I use, I always post down below. They are affiliate links. Through Amazon, we only have a shop right now. Like you can see, we have an Amazon shop. We're just affiliates for these. So, because people will often ask us what they were, we get a small commission. It just supports the channel, which we really appreciate. Anybody who does have affiliate links is required to disclose that, just so you know. I think it's important anyways. Okay, so I've already said the prayer. So let's find out, what do they want us to know? Again, they wanted me to use this particular deck. So what do you guys want us to know about wide open? What messages do you have for us about wide open and gone mad? It's really, the gone mad part was not the message, it was the follow-up to it. I think they're trying to say it's going to be a little bit more chaotic is what we've asked. And so they want us to remain wide open. Okay. What messages do you have from the Feminine Wisdom Oracle about wide open? Okay, that one seemed to come a couple times. Okay. So these kind of fell over, and I've got 3 now in front of me. I'm not looking at them. And so let's just see. Did we get the message you wanted us to have from this deck? Yes. Are there any others in the deck you want me to grab? No? Okay. So which message do you want us to read? The one on the right? Yes, the one in the middle. No, the one on the left. No, so just one message for a wide open from Feminine Wisdom? Yes, okay. I got a frog in my throat. Frog. Why do we say we have frogs in our throat? Is that because that's what frogs sound like? Or why do we say that? Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, okay. Wide open. Okay, that's what we're talking about. So this is the message. All right. So it is a 7 card 34. 34 is 3 plus 4 is 7. Okay. So wide open. This is feminine wisdom. She's looking pretty peaceful, flexible. Boundaries. Dividing line. Wide open, gone mad. Interesting, interesting message, right? Boundaries. Okay, so let's read about this. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write in my square, and you can do the same, whatever resonates with you. You can write down what I write down, but I really want you to write down what resonates with you. Okay, because things are going to resonate with me differently than anybody, right? Because we're all on our own path. We're all on our own spiritual journey. We're just doing it together, which is fun. But we're each individually, right? Our higher selves are having different experiences. Okay, so message for May, first message for May, wide open. A dividing line, a mark that ends limits. Very cool. The affirmation is, having clear boundaries is a love language to oneself. Okay, so really encouraging us to make sure that we have clear boundaries this month, okay? This card is a sign that clear boundaries need to be made, whether it is with a family member, work, or putting too much of yourself into efforts that are going unseen. Saying yes when you want to say no is a betrayal of your own heart. Undermining your own priorities feels like a little stab every time, doesn't it? This is also usually a sign of deeply rooted need for approval or fear of not being liked. Recognize when it happens and then choose to release it. It is not serving you. Okay, so I think for me, I am going to write down, first I'm just going to write down boundaries as the overarching message, which is wonderful because then when I look in my journal, like, okay, they want me to remain wide open, boundaries. Now, you could actually just take this and tomorrow or today, do a 1-page journal page on boundaries for yourself, you know? I'm going to actually put a dividing line, a mark that ends limits. That's interesting. A mark that ends limits. A dividing line. A mark that ends limits. I don't know. I got to think about that. That would be a good thing to journal on. Okay, so what part of that resonated with you? I think the saying yes when you want to say no is a betrayal of your own heart. I think that's really important to hear. When I think of like what it is that we need this month, again, we're all going to be a little different. And this was, well, the first part, Gone Mad, was a political message. So what do you need to do this month that if there's more chaos politically, what do you need to do for yourself? Okay. What boundaries do you need to set up for yourself this month if there is more madness, more chaos on the outside? What do you need to do? What boundaries do you need to set up? Okay. So I think that would be a really great journaling question for tomorrow or whenever you're looking to sit down with a journal, is just write like, what boundaries do I need to establish this month if things get more chaotic, So I'm going to write that down too. So what boundaries do I need to establish this month if and when things feel more chaotic externally. Because obviously the goal is to remain internally calm, as much as we can, right? Because then that's where happiness lies. That's where peace lies. So I'm just going to put to remain internally calm as a reminder to myself. So, okay, so boundaries. I just filled up my entire square and we still have one more deck to use. Darn it. That's the fun one too. Okay. All right. Let's see. Inner effing peace. Woo woo. This is a deck came from a community member. Thank you, Faye. I really shouldn't keep saying Faye. I have like Faye. I'll always remember that you sent me this. But so many beautiful, you guys send me so many beautiful things, and I very rarely remember names because I'm not connecting, but Faye's I got down, just because this one, anyways, I don't know. I just remembered that one. So it's not that I don't like everybody else. I really like everybody deck, or we got a card. It's just names and me is, Okay, we've got 3 sitting in front of me. I could probably just read all 3 because they're funny. All right. Did we, are any other cards you want me to pull from the deck? No. Do you want me to read all 3 of these? Yes. Okay. All right. So this was the first one. Oh, I'm like, which part was the punchline? Namaste, bitches. Okay, the divine in me honors the divine in you. I love it. The divine in me honors the divine in you. That's beautiful. Dang. Namaste, bitches. All right. So, one of the things you could write down for that message, there's a message there. It's funny, but there's a message there, is how do we also honor the divine in others? So that, how can I'm going to put that in my journal. How can I honor the divine in others, especially during this time? That's staying wide open, isn't it? If you can honor the divine in others, even when you disagree, that's the key, right? If you honor the divine in others, regardless of the experience they are choosing to go through, then you are wide open then. So that's the message, wide open. So that would be a beautiful thing to journal on, is how can I honor the divine in others? And then add, especially when I disagree. That's the hard part, especially when I disagree. Namaste, bitches. Okay. Oh, and fuzzy slippers. Oh, I guess you got to read this one first. Peace, love, and yoga pants. Yeah. Peace, love, and yoga pants. Oh, and fuzzy slippers. I love it. Peace, love, and yoga pants. Stay wide open. Just wear your peace, have peace, love, and wear your yoga pants because they're comfortable. And get your fuzzy slippers. So they're telling us a little bit of comfort. Have a little bit of comfort this month. It's okay. Indulge in some comfort this month, okay? That's how I'm going to write that down. Indulge in comfort. We should indulge in comfort every day. But especially this month. I did have a little bit of room. I'm just writing in between now. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. I'm in an offline state of mind. Unplug. Okay. I actually decided, I was talking about Ground News yesterday, so I have a subscription to Ground News. But they have the notifications. And I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to turn the notifications off. When I want to get news, I'll go. But now I get a notification. Of course, I'm curious because it's always something chaotic. But I don't want I don't want them to decide when I want to see it. You know what I mean? So that's a boundary that I'm setting, but I'm going to stay wide open because I still will have the app, but I get to unplug from it until I choose to plug into it. So that would be a way to interpret this. So however you need, I'm in an offline state of mind, unplug. Okay. Amazing messages for how to stay wide open and boundaries. So I'm just going to put when is it best for me to unplug. And so unplug again, it doesn't necessarily mean just from news or just from whatever. It could be a whole bunch of things. Actually, what I'm really liking about this now, for me, again, just going through the spiritual journey together, is that I'm starting to write these all in questions so that it gives me stuff to journal about. I have not done that in the last 2 months. I just write down, whatever the message is. So, okay, so we've got one more message for the month or for the week. So it'll be interesting to look back next Sunday and see how we did with boundaries. In fact, why don't I do that? Why don't we check in at the beginning of each Sunday and just check in, and I'll let you know how I did with boundaries and staying wide open and some of the journaling I might have done. And then you guys can check in with yourselves and then let us know let the community know, how you did as well. Okay, so the next message is number 2, hang in there. Hang in there. And I did say in relation to, and they said, TRUMP F45. Okay. Now, this is where they asked us to use the Letting Go deck and the Ask Your Guides deck. So let's see what else they have in there. So hang in there is a nice message, but where did I put my pen? Where did it go? Oh boy. Okay, I found it. Okay, so hang in there. So hang in there. Second message, Trump. All right. Well, they've already told us about gone mad. So that's probably why they're like, hang in there. All right, let's see. So let's use the Letting Go deck first. See what messages they have. 2 just fell off the top, but that doesn't mean those are the messages. Okay, so let's see. What do they want to tell us about hanging in there? Obviously, political message again. Well, it's a political message. They're telling us to hang in there because of political stuff. But the message for us individually is to hang in there, obviously. Okay, so let's see what they've got for us. All right. I actually just ordered his book, the Letting Go book. Did I get it? Yeah, I think I got it already. So I'm excited to read that. I'm actually reading right now. I got a book. It's on my nightstand. When I'm done, I'll talk about it on the channel. But thank you. Name. There's a card right there. I'm going to put that one right there. I'm sorry. Is it Lori? A very kind person from the community sent me a book she's written about, which is amazing so far. I'm on like chapter 2, about it's basically about having narcissists in the family and how to deal with that. So thank you for the book. I really appreciate it. I will definitely be talking about it once I get through it. So, all right. But yeah, I just got the Letting Go book, so I'm going to read that one next. All right. So did I pull do you have any other cards from the deck you want me to pull? No? Okay. So what about, which cards do you want me to read? The one on the far right? Yes. The second one in? No. The third one in? No. The fourth one in? Okay, so just one card? Okay. All right. One card. Okay, let's see. Okay, I was just trying to decide which side I should read first. All right, so frustration comes from wanting a thing now instead of letting it happen naturally. Oh, yes, in its own time. Patience is an automatic side effect of letting go. And we know how easy it is to get along with patient people. Notice that patient people usually get what they want in the end. Okay, so hang in there, right? They are asking us to continue to be patient. Hang in there, continue to be patient. When we are surrendered, there is no longer the pressure of time. So this is why I think slowly, in December, I kept asking, when? January, when is it going to end? I slowly stopped asking that question. There are people still asking us to ask that question, right? Want the SGs to answer it. But I think I have slowly been leaning into this and not really as interested in about the when. I think a couple months ago or a month or two ago, they started telling us in the messages to trust divine timing. And I thought, okay, well, again, who am I to push this along when it's a huge shift, the biggest shift that we've ever made on earth. So we need to let this happen in its own time. And that's why we need to set our own boundaries. We need to, what else did they say? Honor the divine in others, look to honor the divine in others, remain internally calm, even though stuff is externally, unless it steps on your doorstep. But when it steps on your doorstep, you'll deal with it. You'll deal with it. You don't have to deal with everybody else's, though. Every time we find out what other people are experiencing, especially as empaths and feelers, we take that on. And that's where the boundaries need to come in, I think. That's where our boundaries need to come in, especially for empaths and light workers and feelers. If we don't have really good boundaries, and we're not that good at setting boundaries, well, I would say a lot of us. We are now, the older we get, but if you're younger and you're just sort of just starting to feel how to set boundaries and all that kind of stuff, good for you, and set them early on. Just as an empath and a feeler, it's something you always have to regularly do, I think. I've been setting boundaries my whole life, but this is a different kind of situation to set boundaries with, right? So I love it. So when we are surrendered, there is no longer the pressure of time. So you're no longer going to be that interested. And I think that's a good measure. I think that was a good measure for me, that I was like spiritually growing in this situation, is that I'm just not that interested in asking that question anymore. And so you use your own, measurements for that. But okay, so what are you going to write down? Oh my God, did I lose my pen again? Here it is. All right. So let's see. I am going to write down. Well, I do like the idea of patience. So this is not going to be a question to me, but patience. So when we talk about hang in there, that was the message for the week for May. I think they're just asking us to be patient. So what do you think? What do you think? Is that kind of what you took out of that? So patience is an automatic side effect of letting go. Okay, so I think what I'm going to put as a question to myself is, what am I being impatient about? Both externally, so it could be anything out in the world, in your life, and internally. So that might be a, kind of an interesting journal So when I wake up tomorrow morning, I could choose one of these, what I want to journal on. So, okay. When we surrender, there is no longer the pressure of time. I like that. I'm going to write that down. When we surrender, just a little reminder, there is no longer the pressure of time. Okay, let's see what Ask the Guides have to say about that. Okay, so again, this is Ask the Guides Oracle cards by Sonia Coquette. All right. That might not be how you pronounce her name, but okay. I love these. I love, me, I love every deck, but really cool. There's different. All right. What last message do you guys have for us today about hang in there? What do you want us to consider regarding hang in there? And F45. Cheeto. Humpty Dumpty. I heard somebody call it. Oh my God. No, that's too many, you guys. There's like 10 that dropped. They can do better than that. They can find the one and let it fly out, can't they? Oh, funny. They're like, yeah, if you would shuffle better. Whoa, there we go. See, I told you. I wonder if that one was in the big pile that they threw down. All right. Are there any other cards you want me to pull from this deck? No. Okay, they're giving us one card. That's kind of nice. Okay, is this the card you want me to have? Yes. Okay. It is nice because in the past, oh my gosh, they would give me like 5 cards. This is 50 minutes, but next week, because I was kind of filling you guys in, I think it'll be more efficient, but all right, let me just take a quick drink of water. I know that was probably hard for some people to hear. All right, my throat is getting dry. Oh, so hang in there. Okay, this is great. Hang in there. Support. Your guardian angel is supporting us. Your guardian angel is supporting you. Mine is supporting mine. Collectively, they're all supporting us. How amazing. That couldn't have been a better message for hang in there. Support. Number 4, card number 4. All right, let's get a little bit more and see what they have to say, because that makes me feel warm and fuzzy. See, this is how you should feel. Staying warm and fuzzy is where, why not? We have a right, we have the free will to live a life of warm and fuzzy. Let's just stay warm and fuzzy. And that's really, the whole idea of this journey together is so that we can work the things out that are not warm and fuzzy in our lives so that we can live a regular existence of warm and fuzzy. I love that. I'm going to just write that down. Just stay warm and fuzzy. Okay. So your guardian angel's message to you: ask for all the help you need and more. Your guardian angel will help you with infinite love and joy. Let them. Very cool. You are not meant to face life alone. Your guardian angel reminds you that as a divine child of the universe, you are always deeply loved and greatly supported. However, your angel can only do so much without your permission. Even though your guardian angel is on duty and works nonstop around the clock to keep you safe and protected, if your free will leads you in the opposite direction, your guardian angel must step aside and respect your choices, which is totally amazing. I love that. We want everybody to respect our choices, right? Now, and our guardian angels, but they also need us to ask for help when we need it. Your guardian angel wants you to know that spiritual forces are ready to help you the minute you ask. Where in your life do you need more love and support right now? I'm writing that question down. That would be a beautiful question to journal on now. Okay. So go ahead and write, if that resonates with you, where in your life do you need more love and support right now? Be clear, specific, and vocal. Ask out loud for your guardian angel's help. So you could go ahead and journal it and then read it out loud so that it sends more energy out there. Put some crystals on it. Okay. Put it in the sun so it gets some energy going out there, your request. All right. You could just do that on simple journal and then read it out loud. I think that I've never thought to do that. It's a good idea. You can ask for help in both big and little matters. Your guardian angel and all your other angels are available to help you all the time. They want to bring you more ease and joy and reduce your stress and worry. They love making life easier for you. How amazing. Be sure to thank your angels for their help. The more you thank your angels for their support, the more readily they will assist you. You will see. That's awesome. I mean, you can't make this up, can you? This is a hang in there. They're telling us to hang in there, and this is the card they give us. Both the be patient, right? Let go, and then warm and fuzzies. Warm and fuzzies, support. I love it. Okay, so I am writing down, oh my God, I clearly can't do like cards and then keep track of my pen at the same time. Okay, so I am going to write down in my square, and then like I said, I'm going to journal on this. And I love the idea, I'm going to remind myself to say things out loud. So where in my life do I'm just changing the wording a little bit, need more love and support right now? Okay, I love it. All right, well, I hope this was helpful, and I can't wait to hear how the cards resonated with you, how the messages resonated with you. What are you going to journal on? Share some ideas so that we all can see, like the idea of them speaking, like they suggested speaking it out loud. I never thought of that. And that's what we do for each other too, is we share those kind of ideas with each other to make it, our requests more powerful, have more energy behind them, raise the vibration of our request. So just to remember to stay wide open as you can this week, and hang in there. Okay? All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.